Congratulations on the win. It is a 3-1 victory in the end, but was it more nervy at times than it had to be given how much you dominated the match?
I think first half we dominated and we could have scored several goals. Second half they had the ball more and they had more chances. But I don't care. In the end we win, and that's the most important thing.
Nice summary of it. I mean, it was a dominant start to the match. You, of course, scored the opener, and then they find themselves back in the game through an own goal. But if there is one man who City can rely on, it is yourself. Look, 3 goals today, back-to-back hat-tricks, 7 goals in just 3 matches. How do you assess your start to the season?
It's been quite good, 9 points and 7 goals, so cannot complain.
What's your favourite of the 3 goals?
I like all 3, but the second one.
Why?
Because it's a great goal.
Yeah, they were all great goals, to be honest. I wonder, after scoring that hat-trick last weekend, when you were on 2 goals today, would you have been disappointed if you had ended the match with just 2? You know, for yourself, is it about hitting those heights, hat-tricks on a regular basis?
No, it's about winning games, and that's what we did today as well. So 9 points out of 3 games is a great start, and that's my focus.
And just looking at the collective, you mentioned it there, it is 3 wins from 3, especially after Arsenal dropped points. You're 2 points clear now. How pleased are you with the start to the season already?
Yeah, season is good, but don't forget there's 35 games left, so last thing I'm going to focus about is anyone else. It's about taking game by game and to getting 3 points and to don't think too much, because that's no good thing for the brain.
Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Another match ball for Erling Haaland. Truth is, his teammates are sick of writing on these match balls.
I love
There's
that.
the proof.
How good is that? Who wrote that? Do we know?
We don't know yet, but they might write it again this week. We might
I
find
think
out.
that's Pep's handwriting.
I highly doubt
No, I
Pep would
doubt it.
ever say that. Absolutely loving it. Erling Haaland just saying it's okay. He also talked about the fact, as we mentioned, that West Ham had a great spell in the second half. He was asked about it. He said, I don't care.
No, I think there was a bit of tongue-in-cheek there, potentially. You know, he's only a young man, but he's got a solid family behind him. You know, Alfie was who I played with and managed. You know that they'll keep him level, and he's bright enough as well as a player. You know, he's so sort of one-track minded. You know, about being as professional as he can and scoring goals and creating stats. He's got the world at his feet.
Yeah, absolutely. His dad was talking about in the off-season the fact that he was doing simple things like chopping wood. Well, he's come back and you can see it. He's absolutely ready to chop up defences.
He is chopping everybody up, I think. It was interesting, he said at the end, he said, don't overthink it too much, not good for the brain. And he does everything, looks so simple for him. You know, he just makes it look very simple. And it's amazing to watch him work at his craft.
For a long time, the difference between the two teams was just 1 goal. West Ham, the difference between getting something out of this game and the 0 points which they ended up with. What was it for you?
I think they were fortunate just to have a 1-goal difference, I've got to say. West Ham, with the personnel they have in their ranks, have always got the opportunity to hurt you on the counter-attack. Bowen's very good on it. Kudos is very good on the counter-attack, you know. Paqueta can find a pass. And Antonio, when he's on the pitch and playing well, that front 4 can cause any team a problem every now and then. And you can't dominate games for 90 minutes. And City, you know, that they were probably victims of the half-time break a little bit, you know, and were comfortable in the game that much and couldn't get that extra goal in front that would have relaxed them and saw the game out that we saw when they did get the 3rd goal, the game was finished.
3 goals by talking to the man himself. Erling Haaland joins us now live from the London Stadium. Another hat-trick for you, but it's a first Premier League away hat-trick. Is that something that's nice to tick off the list?
I didn't know that, to be honest, but I guess it's a great thing, and
yeah,
I'm happy, and of course 3 points is the most important thing, so I'm happy.
I mean, you've said this since the start of the season, that you feel really rested, really ready. You've been raring to go since the close season. How are you feeling now that you're 3 games in and it's going so well?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel energized. I had a long vacation and I had a long preseason, so I'm feeling good, and the years I've been here, it's gone really quick, and it's been going like bam, bam, bam. So now I got a little bit rest in my body and in my feet, and I feel really good now, and ready for more.
Yeah, and it looks that way. It looks as though you're rested and relaxed. Does it feel different for you on the pitch this season? I know you said that it's the first time you've started a season pretty much pain-free and feeling this good.
Yeah, and only footballers knows how important it is to have a break and have a long enough break, and yeah, in the end, you need to like calm down your body and your mind, because it's a long season, and it's not as easy as everyone thinks. But I'm happy to start again, and I'm feeling fresh, and I feel good. That's the most important thing.
I'd say it was the full repertoire today, big man. You got a lovely caress goal, the second one you bludgeoned in, and then the third one, the little dink. What was your favourite goal out of the three?
Yeah, I really like the second goal, I have to be honest. I like all of them, you know this, but the second one was lovely.
I'm hoping you can see these on the screen here. Just talk us through them.
Yeah, lovely ball from Rico, and a perfect first touch, and not a bad finish. And this is also a perfect ball, and top finish.
Why is it you like the second one, Erling? Do you like that connection? Do you like that feel of the power?
Yeah, and I like scoring these goals as well. I like to shoot a bit hard sometimes as well, not only easy shots. So it's good to get a little bit of power out of my body.
Yeah. Erling, can I ask you about your movement for the third goal? It was brilliant. As a defender, it's really difficult to mark in them situations. How much do you practice that run in training, or is that just something that's come naturally for you?
This is what I've been doing, I think, my whole life, exactly this movement. You know, but normally we don't meet these kind of teams. Normally the teams drop much more, but obviously West Ham needed a goal, and the line was higher, so I had the chance to go in behind, and for me this is a natural thing to do this and to don't go in offside, so I haven't practiced for many years exactly this.
Pep Guardiola was talking this week about you doing extra training, extra practice, repetition. Is that something that you felt when you've come back this year you want to try and get even better?
Yeah, and I feel, as I said, I feel more refreshed, I feel more energized. So when you do that, you can practice on things you want to become better on out of the training. And yeah, I feel good, as I said, and I want to become better. And I'm happy.
Erling, you started off by saying it's important to get the win for the team. It's 3 wins from the first 3 games. City have looked fantastic already. Arsenal dropped points earlier on today, so one rival has already slipped up. Is it feeling... look, we're 3 games in. I know we're 3 games in. But we can't...
They haven't slipped up yet.
Yeah.
Don't use these words, please.
All right. Well, they've dropped points already so far this season. And Manchester City continuing with that 100% record. Purely from City's point of view, it must be a very satisfying place to be, and if not looking too far ahead yet.
Yeah. 3 games, 9 points. This is a great start. But again, we don't... let's not think too far here, because there's potentially 70 games left of this season without national team. So let's just breathe a bit and take game by game.
I've just got to ask you a very serious question. Have you got your tickets yet for Oasis?
I think I need to make a call to both of them and plan something.
Well, can you make a call for us too?
We're just asking for friends.
Only for you. Only for you.
Erling, really appreciate you talking to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Those chances as well.
Yeah, he's the icing on the cake. I mean, if you do look at moments in games, you think about Kudus when he goes through, hits the post and crossbar. 2-2 might have been a completely different complexion on the game, and West Ham in the ascendancy. But when you've got someone like Haaland, he just takes the stress out of every situation. That third goal was all important. The way he just calmed himself, finished it with aplomb. It was just a really important goal for them, and it just took the stuffing out of what West Ham were trying to do. But right now, it's been a great start for him. Maximum points. Pep Guardiola will be delighted. And when you've got a player like Haaland in the form that he's in, he just gives you such a chance every single game. Because, as I say, I've never seen him look better and more confident.
I think it's his... we talk about goal scoring, and the numbers are staggering. Absolutely amazing. But it's his movement in the box. So when Bernardo Silva gets the ball earlier on and plays him through, as a defender, you've only got a split second to react. And that's what the difference is. His movement is so great and his finishing as well. The second one when he goes in, he's in around in the box. Jamie talked at half-time about the defender should have shown him onto his right foot, but it's the speed in which he does it what makes it so difficult. And then the third one, when it goes through, we'll talk about it a little bit later. It's just that confidence. That's the sort of goal we saw when he was at Dortmund. They played a bit of, counter-attacking football at times. He would have that space to bend his run. And as a defender, when you're watching him there, it always tells you to keep your head on the swivel, but he's so smart the way he gets himself onside, and once you get into a race with him, it's all over because he's that quick.
Is first of all, how quick he is, but also how hard it is. You said keep your head on a swivel, but just to keep awareness of where he is because of that constant movement.
But that's why teams play in a low block, because that is what Haaland was known for, running in behind. And don't forget, if you're facing the play this way and you're a defender, if he's already on a half turn and bending his run and makes run behind, you've got to turn while he's going forward. And because his acceleration and his pace is so good and it's finishing, that's why teams don't go and play press Man City really high, you know?
I read something this week that Pep Guardiola said, and we look at Premier League players and you look at Haaland and we think, well, he might be the finished article. What actually can he do to improve? But Pep's been talking this week about he's been doing his extra training. He's been working on his touch, working on his finishing. And you can see that it's actually coming to fruition because the harder you work, the luckier you get. You get that confidence, repetition every single day. You talk about sportsmen that are at their best. It's when they practice, and practice makes perfect. Practice makes permanent. All young players that are watching Haaland thinking, oh, yeah, but he gets that pass. But it's not necessarily the pass that's perfect. It's his first touch that enables him then to do what he does with his second touch. And that's why I feel that there is such an amount of confidence right now that he is really thriving in a great moment. And as I say, last year, of course he got goals, but they didn't feel that they were coming as easy as what they are now. He's got that balance and poise, and it feels like he's gliding around the pitch. I can't wait because we talk about moments in your career and when you feel good and being in the sweet spot. But right now, it really looks like he's at that moment.
I heard one of the gymnasts in the Olympics talking about the fact they put in all the hard work to make it look effortless when they eventually go out. And it feels as though that's what Erling Haaland is doing for Manchester City and the team as a whole. But just to have him working in the way that he does. Jamie said earlier on, I think at half-time, he referred to his first two goals as Beauty and the Beast. So let's look at the beauty, first of all, and take a look at Haaland's work in this one.
Yeah, well, we talk about the movement, anticipation, sort of being on the front foot, anticipating a mistake, and then he's gone. It's one touch, and then it's a cool finish. But what makes it so great is how quick he's able to do that. You see the defenders there, they're not being able to set. One touch, and then it opens up his body. I mean, it's just fantastic. Obviously, a brilliant ball by Bernardo Silva, but it's the way he sort of moves round the ball to get it on his left foot. I don't know if we could just take that back a little bit there in terms of his movement. As soon as the ball comes through, just look at his running pattern. He runs around the ball to get it on his favoured foot, and that opens up the goal, and it's just a delicate finish, and it's just brilliant.
And we saw that perfect ball from Bernardo Silva, as we see so often, Jamie. I know you love him as a player, but how rewarding for him to know that it's Erling Haaland who's going to be on the end of it.
I just think this guy, just keep your eye on him. He is one of those players that are just so unsung. You know, of course you need the leading actor, but you need the supporting cast, someone that's going to do the extra bit for you. And that's exactly what he does. Because he's a beautiful player on the ball, but he will also go and do the rest of it. Look, he's slipping round Paquetá there. Again, that he goes and presses him, right, now I've got the ball. Now, I just take that back because once he wins it, like you're looking at it now, he's got a split second to slide that ball between the lines. Haaland now has already assessed the situation. He knows that there's a chance if he gets it onto that beautiful left foot of his, he can give me the ball. But if he takes 2-3 touches, that chance has gone. You can see Mavropanos is already going to come in. By that time, Kilman comes in, that space has gone. But look how quickly he gets his head up and he passes it away. Bam, straight away. It kills the two centre-backs. It gives Haaland all the time in the world that he needs. And that's why he is such an important player for this Manchester City side, because he gives so much to the team. He runs, he chases, but he's also got the finesse and the passing ability of one of the best players in the world. A dream. He
has the finesse, the passing ability, the work rate, the movement. And also, Micah, he has the strength, and that's what we saw in the second goal, which, Jamie, I think is why you were saying it was Beauty and the Beast. One was about control and accuracy, the other one was about power.
Yeah, I mean, Micah, because you mentioned at your half-time how pleased you were with, there he is there, we'll highlight him, I think, Rico Lewis, because of his role today, especially in that first half.
Yeah, just in terms of, they've had Kyle Walker, and Kyle Walker he comes inside and sort of go with 3 at the back. With Rico Lewis, he more goes into a centre position and starts and gets involved on the attacks. And it's just the weight of pass, being in there, and some people might think that's really simple, but you have to be in that position. His feet are so quick, lovely weight of ball, and then it's a tremendous finish from, what did you call it, the Beast? The Beast. And I know he's ready to talk to us, and I can't wait to hear what he thinks about his hat-trick
He is.
today.
We pause our analysis of Erling Haaland with those questions, because every week it's, why are you so brilliant? Why are Manchester City doing so well?
Must be tough, that question. Why are you so brilliant? I'd really struggle with that one. What do you mean? Someone kept asking you that. That hat-trick, it must be getting boring.
But it's a harder question to answer than how do you improve, isn't it? It's like, how are you so consistently brilliant? Is a harder question to answer. Are you looking to win the title? Of course, they're looking to win the title. What else is he going to say? But it's because they are consistently getting the results, consistently getting the performances, consistently getting the goals.
You touched on something about his all-round game, didn't you, Jamie? And you thought it was a lot better. I think because Haaland didn't touch the ball so much, every time he loses it, we're criticising him for that, and he doesn't get involved. But I think it's just... Go on.
Do you think it's because we almost want to... Because he's pick holes in something, because of his goals and how many he scores, we're looking, OK, well, maybe if he added that as well. Is that maybe...
Well, obviously, when he's getting compared to the greats and, his goal-scoring record, if you look at the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, obviously, technically, it was very good. They not only scored goals, but they assisted goals as well. I think with Haaland, it's different. He's just a number 9. The only criticism I had of him last year was, could he use his body a little bit more? Yes. Sometimes the ball would go into him and it'd bounce off him too easily. But that's the only really negative I see in his game. And this season, he started off so well.
Do you know what I really like, though? And I'm a little bit old school with things like this, where it sounds so basic, but even he wants to get better. Even he wants to... Because the easy thing now, in a modern day, in an era where, you after training, do you actually want to go and do some extras to make yourself better? And go and practice and master your craft? Because I do hear a lot of stories about players, as soon as training's finished, right, they get off, they get in the car and they go home. But the only way you're really going to improve and get to that level is by doing the extras. All the great centre-forwards that I played with, they would spend half an hour after training, they'd get a bag of balls, get a goalkeeper, repetition, finishing, getting used to that feel of the ball hitting the back of the net. It's a great feeling for all strikers.
I mean, he gets that in the games as well.
But you can see that the practice is paying off. And Pep said, because it must be a dream, because instead of saying to a player, like, come and do some extras, when they want to dictate it, and all of a sudden that gets infectious, everyone else wants to do it, and the young players in the academy see, well, if Haaland's doing that, I'll start doing that. And that's what it's about, and that's what it should be. Even at this age, he wants to improve. And, the third goal, and you touched on it, Micah, didn't you? It was a really important moment.
Well, yeah, I just talked about the movement, and I'll just stop it there. If you look at Haaland in this position there, the centre-half can see him. First of all, his body position is all wrong. He can see his number and his back. But if we just run this on ever so slowly, the way he just managing to get himself back onside, he's facing the goal, and there's only going to be one winner. When we talk about Man City, if I just pull this forward, they've got players who can play them balls through. This is why I probably Haaland thought he would get a lot more opportunities like this. A lot of teams now going into the low block. And once you get into a race like that, terrific ball, and then the confidence is booming, and it's just a wonderful finish. It's absolutely brilliant.
I just want to... I just can't get my head around this. I'm sure that's Mavropanos here. Now, from a West Ham perspective, when he goes and presses, which is absolutely fine, I don't understand why he pulls out of this challenge. Can you help me out here, Micah? Because there, tackle.
Yeah.
Why don't you tackle? What's he doing?
I just think from a defender's point of view there, he's going with such force. He thinks if he go for the ball, he's probably going to get the man as well. So he pulls out
You're
of it.
You're not allowed to tackle anymore.
Well, the way the modern day game's going, not so much.
If you was a manager and you saw that, you'd be disappointed.
But it is a poor decision. I agree with you.
Are you saying it's not that you're not allowed to tackle, it's that it's harder to tackle and get the timing and the impact right in that one?
I think because of the speed in which he's running, if we just run this on slowly here, he's running ever so quick, and he's just mistimed it. So he knows if he goes to the ball, it could injure someone, so he's decided to pull out of the tackle. So he's made a mistake, he just got the timing wrong.
Yeah. OK, I'll leave that with you. This is a nice angle for what you're talking about of Erling Haaland, because once he sees Núñez then pick up the ball, it's a good piece of play. That's when he then comes alive. Kilman is seen in behind. We've seen Messi do this for many years. Ronaldo, it's almost like they're preserving their energy, and then once that ball then gets into a good space, now just watch this. It's a slight foot pattern change, but he just makes sure he gets himself on side. As you say, he can see Maximilian Kilman there, so he's going to be in a perfect position to get onside if the pass can get released there. Holds his run, and then he's off. It's perfect. It's perfect centre forward play, and then just dinks it over the goalkeeper.
It's delightful. I think again on that, from a defender's point of view, you're always going to look at the ball. So by the time he's looked to see where Haaland is, it's just too late.
And even despite the fact that at Manchester City he's getting into the box so much more, we don't see that goal. That's muscle memory, as he was saying there. That one is one that's just in there. You talked, Micah, about the comparison between Messi and Ronaldo, and that's the sort of same breath that we're talking about Erling Haaland in. As you said, he's a number 9. He's an out-and-out number 9. And so you would expect his goal-scoring figures to stand up to them. But they don't just stand up to Messi and Ronaldo. He's surpassing them. And if he carries on like this, he would reach, after the same number of games as Messi and Ronaldo have played, or same number as Ronaldo has played, on 1,015 career goals for Erling Haaland. That's the projection if he carries on scoring at this rate. But if you look, Messi and Ronaldo both picked up at around about this stage, so that's possible as well.
Careers, haven't they?
And they're pretty well regarded.
The only thing I will say, because I know a lot of people looking at, and how can you compare Haaland to Messi and Ronaldo? We're talking about purely goals.
This is just numbers.
Just purely numbers and goals, because
and this is club and country. And the other thing we should say as well is that Norway haven't qualified for a couple of tournaments as well, whereas Argentina, Portugal, they're sort of not quite ever present, but they're usually there.
Yeah, I think in terms of Messi, we know what he can do in terms of goals and assists, and at times he's number 10 in them positions.
We're familiar with his work.
Yes, Ronaldo as well. Don't forget, he started off as a winger, and then he matured into sort of goal scorer, number 9, movement in the box. But in terms of numbers, especially in the Premier League as well, what Haaland is producing now at his age is just staggering. Absolutely unbelievable. In there, he's so sharp. And in terms of the numbers, what you've shown us there, there's no reason he can't surpass that, because of, as long as he stays injury-free. You always got to talk about injuries, because if he plays in a team like Man City, constantly creating chances for him, he's going to get them opportunities to
Was
score
it
them goals.
263 goals in 317 games. If you just think about that for a second, how difficult that is to do. Of course, he's playing in a great side that create lots of chances for him, but it is staggering. It's staggering, and it looks like, you know, you figure things out as you get older as well, looking after yourself, making sure you eat correctly and you'll prepare yourself, ice baths and all these things that he speaks about regularly doing to just give himself that little bit of an edge. Yeah, he's a phenomenon, the guy. He's an amazing player to watch, and he's so different to the other two that you've mentioned. And I don't think for 1 second we're going to compare their styles or anything like that, but an out-and-out goal scorer. It's very hard, you know, to think of anyone that's so as clinical and has every single goal in the bag.
You made it competitive, especially in the second half. But what was it about the way the team handled the match that pleased you the most?
We played really good. West Ham is always have the sense that danger is there. When they can run a little bit or pack attack on tag with Kudus, Bo and Antonio, so they are able to run 40 meters. The sense of danger is always never is over. But except the first, 2 or 3 minutes as normal. So we played really, really good. It was an unfortunate goal against, but the second half was a little bit more open. After when Rico go more inside and more control, the game we control it better, and the performance against was really good. I had the feeling that every time we are very better. So now officially the pre-season is over. With one title and 3 games, 9 points. No, it's officially over. We are now, after the national break, started like every 3 days. So when we play 1 game a week, it's still pre-season. So it happened, and happy for all the players, of course.
Erling Haaland, you mentioned this season that he is not feeling any niggles. He's very well physically. So how different do you see him considering his preparation, especially in the preseason, in this extended preseason?
With this huge body he has, when no have niggles, is another player. So, but from the beginning. So it's unbelievable. I can say, the second goal and even the first, in front of the goal is something unique. So but now, like I said, I start every 3 days, and of course, and with this mindset that now he has, everything he can do. So the numbers the shortage of the numbers, the games have played and the goals have scored. So 2 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals. So it's incredibly beloved, not just for what he does on the pitch. And I think this is so important for him.
Yeah, you've developed a lot of players throughout your career, especially making them see different roles on the pitch. With Haaland, he's playing outstanding football. He's very much a proper striker. So how is the process of developing him?
No, I cannot. I think any manager can teach him in front of the goal to Erling. It just to let him feel what we want to do all together. And today he scored 3 goals. But with the ball, he didn't lose one ball contact. He didn't lose one ball. He gave an extra passes. He helped us to keep the ball, and this is amazing. So I think today was one of the games he played the best, being involved in all the situations, and really pleased.
So this is kind of the next step that you expect from him this season, for him to be more involved in the game as a whole.
Yeah, it's question of time. When you see the games, analyze the games, and see what we want to try to do, and at the end he understands, because he's so a smart guy, and at the end. Well, listen, what we want is score goals. That is the most important thing. But a part of that, I think, for him, is be involved in, sometimes when I'm free, I can drop, or I can control the ball. For example, in the first half, it was an action, that 1-2 with Rico. Rico missed that. The first touch, the first control, the first pass was excellent. So this is what we want.
Before the match, you were talking about patterns that take some time for you to identify. About these patterns, what did you see today that pleased you? And especially considering that you made just one change in your starting 11, does that help you at this point of the season to identify these patterns?
Yeah, a little bit. When the players are playing regularly, and of course a long way, that is not going to happen. Now I start every 3 days. Now everybody will be involved. And hopefully he can be focused in the team. Of course the national team a little bit, but the team and everybody can come back fit.
Good luck. Thank you.
I think one of the most interesting things that Pep Guardiola said in that was quite early on, where he said, pre-season is over. They've had 3 games. OK, it's a great start, but now is where the season starts properly. They've given themselves the best possible chance. They've got an international break now. and then it's Arsenal 2 weeks after they come back. Do you think that's a bit of a message to the players?
Yeah, it's a message to the players. So look after yourself on the international break. I think notoriously Man City are slow starters. They got off to a great start now. And he's just leaving little messages saying, make sure you look after yourself when you're away, because after the national break, it's going to be a massive game. We saw the games of Arsenal, Man City. Last year, Arsenal did very well to get 4 points from Man City last season, so they know it's going to be a massive game. So look after yourself and be ready.
Yeah, that's going to be an absolute crunch game. And as much as we can look at those opening 3 games for City and say, right, well, they should have taken points off that one. We look at Arsenal, as Micah said at the top of the show, we don't know what Brighton are going to do. They might go and take points off Manchester City this season. We don't know yet. So it's hard to make comparisons when Arsenal drop points there. But that game, we do know, because it's head-to-head between 2 sides who we expect to be in the title race.
Yeah, and Arsenal got difficult games to come. They've got to go to Tottenham, and then they've got obviously Manchester City. So they are going to be hard games, but they're all hard. If you want to win the title, that's what you have to do. You have to go to places and pick up results. But right now, Manchester City they're purring. They look in great form, and they've got players that can come in. I thought Gundogan is an incredible signing for them. He knows the club inside out. He gives you goals, assists.
Knows the system.
Knows the system. You can imagine he's just a great teammate. The sort of guy every day in training that sets good examples to everybody at the club. So a really clever signing from their perspective. We talk about Haaland and obviously his goals, but then you just worry about if something were to happen to him in terms of not having Alvarez there anymore. Oscar Bobb's picked up an injury. Of course, they won a title a couple of 3 years ago. Was it without a striker and Foden playing in that area? But they are right now, they look fantastic. But how often don't we say that about them?